I have to be a diva, you know. It's fine.
Episode 45 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu for today. PN Picks. We have Bobby back. Let's see what he's been playing. Our summer gaming habits. Are we playing more? Are we playing less? Nintendo and Microsoft possibly working together. We'll give our opinions. Pokemon Let's Go. Dumbing down for new players. Some controversy around that game. And our predictions on the 3DS successor. So let's get it started. What's up, you fools? Welcome back to the Planet Nintendo podcast. I am joined by the best co-hosts with an S in all of the planet. I don't know. On the planet, Joe from Joe After Work. What's up, man?
Oh man, I still got second billing. I thought Bobby was.
He's got to work back for it.
Man. Oh man.
And the long-awaited Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. How's it been, man?
It's been good. It's been very good. It's even better now that I'm back with my boys, the two little women that I put together, and that's kind of doesn't make sense, right? My boys and two little women. Anyway, we're not gonna judge genders at this moment. It's anyway. No, it's good, dude. It's really good. I'm happy to be back. I hope that the people are happy that I'm back. I got to tell you, you guys did a hell of a job when I left. I really totally took it next level stuff. So you guys really amped it up, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was like, you know what? It's like when you have kids. I don't know because I don't have kids, but I'm just going to assume it's like when you have kids and you send them off into the world and they actually are successful. It's like Mama Bird when they push the chicks out and all of a sudden they take off. You know, I expect you guys to just crash to the ground and die. But no, you just you took seriously, in all seriousness, you guys really, really took it to the next level, man. And I'm so pleased with this, coming back to here. I just get to step in and be like, oh, hi, I'm back. So it's legs.
Thanks, Dad. So this is a new segment to Bobby, but PN Picks. We do this every single week.
What's this trash?
Games we've been playing, games that we could recommend. You know, I thought we were doing a good job, Bobby.
I never watched an episode. I don't know. I was just feeling your. I was just pumping your tires up.
Episode. Joe, I got to start with you, man. Games you've been playing, games that are coming out.
This is twice now. You go to this guy before me. I'm getting tired of this.
Okay.
I've been going for 6 months, man. Treat me with a little respect. Now go ahead. This game is not for kids. I don't know if you guys watched Joe's stream last night. This game is not for kids.
Oh my god.
Holy cow, dude. That game is so bad. How is that?
Go Vacation. Let's talk about this for a second.
It's okay. I don't
think
What a
random remaster.
A real random remaster. It's not for me, but I also can't justify that $50 price point for this. Maybe.
Oh, that'll drop big time, dude. That's not going to stay $50.
Yeah. It's a neat game. It's a neat little game. You're basically at a vacation resort and you're going to different areas, doing different sports and whatnot. The skydiving thing was really weird with the Joy-Cons and how you have to move yourself in position with the right stick. The wave race was probably the coolest thing out of everything, without the obstacles, though. It's got local co-op. I still have yet to figure out whether or not it has online capabilities. If it does, then I can see it being a lot better than, just playing by yourself. Because I have no one here to play this game with.
We're not the one that shipped your girlfriend to Mexico. Don't.
I was watching your stream and it just sounds like there's no sound, actually. There's no music.
No.
It just looks bare. I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm super. Give me your PayPal, man. I'll buy the game off you, man.
Dude, the game that I saw had a lot of music playing and very scantily clad women in it. So that's the Govy. Oh, that's a different game. Okay, my bad. All right, you were playing that. You were just telling. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, he was trying to sell Go Vacation.
I know he was trying to sell. This is Go Vacation, but it really wasn't Go Vacation. That game.
This is Go Vacation.
That game is something else, man. That game is.
Senran Kagura.
I am buying that game. That game is nice. No, I don't.
Now he breaks out the PS4.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my God.
I'm not buying. I wouldn't buy that on PS4.
Bobby, I don't know if I'm the first to ask you, but what have you been playing, man?
Holy crap, a lot, dude, a lot. So I want to do this real quick. I want to talk about Miles and Kilo. I was fortunate enough to get some review codes while I was on hiatus, and I think I owe it to the developers to basically tell you that if you're a fan of side-scrolling platformers, especially classic ones back in the 8-bit era, this game is very Adventure Island-esque. I don't know who played. It was a game put out by Hudson Soft back in the day. Basically, it was a side-scrolling platformer where you would side-scroll, you'd platform, you do your thing. There would be birds and all these crazy things come at you, but then you would grab a skateboard and you would fly through the level. This game is almost identical to that in terms of like when you're Miles and you're running through and you're doing your thing, your single platformer Mario type game, and then the minute you get Kilo and you grab that leash and that dude just hauls ass through the level, like it's like having the skateboard all over again, and it's really good game. I recommend it to everybody. Seriously, like go get this game. It's cheap, man. I think it's like $10.
Yeah, $10.
On the eShop, but it is so good graphically, dude. They do some really impressive things. Things that impress me, where they do a thing where they do a silhouette level where the whole level goes black and you're running through, and it's like, this is so cool, man. So seriously, go grab this game, support these developers. They definitely need it. And yeah, so check that out. But other than that, like two things that I've been playing a lot of: Pokemon Go. This game, I don't know why I got roped back in, but well, I know why I got roped back in, and that's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Because when I heard I could transfer Pokemon, I feel like an old person when I say that. When I transfer Pokemon over to that game, it made me go like, let me take another look at this. And the game has evolved to such high levels anymore, man. Like, dude, I go out my front door and there's stuff all over the place. And it wasn't that way when I used to play. The raids and the battles are so much more fun. The friends, the trading gifts every day, like it just feels like there's more to do in that game. I'm gonna put a lot of time into that. And then Fortnite, man, I'm so addicted to that game. It's not even funny. I mean, there's not much I could say more than the fact that like I was playing after I got done doing NintenTalk Live last night. I jumped in duos with Rybo, and we had 2 second place finishes. That's that was the best we did for the night, but we were doing good, man. The game right now is real weird though, man. It's so glitchy. I don't know what the hell they did to this thing. They need to fix it fast. Like, so typical, the storm, boom, 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 and you get the circle. Dude, we're playing, and the circle is getting thrown out into the storm, and it's like, what?
And then it moves, and then
it's
a hot mess right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, something got messed up. Like I praise them for the every 10 weeks changing it up, but then I look at this and I go, man, maybe that's not a good idea. Like maybe you just create another map and say like, hey, you can go play in this one. I don't know, but I still love the game though. It's still so much fun, and it's more the social aspect of it. Like I love hanging out with Rybo and whoever else we play with, Jams or Joe and all them, and like just chatting and talking, and it's what got me. This desk right here was a mission with Rybo and Joe there, and the next thing I know, they're like,
I take all credit.
Get the Bacant. I'm like, what the hell's the Bacant? And then Joe's dropping links. I'm like, oh, I like this. This is me. So anyway, sorry.
I got a couple reviews coming out soon. Well, not a full review of one, but I got a review copy for Dream Alone, which is this dark like Tim Burton platformer thing. Pretty interesting so far. And then a game that you said, Bobby, Tanzia.
I got a review code too.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. It's like an MMO type, like RPG. So
if we can you? I don't know because I've just started. Can you link up and play online?
I haven't even popped it in yet.
We should find out. We should find out. If we can, we should probably go in it together a little bit, and we can do a review together if you want.
And then Mr. Joe after work finally convinced me to get Octopath, man.
Oh, what do you mean convinced you, dude? Why do you need convinced?
There was no convincing involved.
I'm not a big JRPG fan, but I went and got it. I started with Haunted, for everyone that's wondering. Got Ophelia last night, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
Have you
man.
been grabbing
It was
other
good.
travelers along the way to?
So I was gonna
Ophelia?
ask you that. So I started with Hanet, I guess, and then I defeated that boss. Is that chapter 1 for her, or is there more? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
no,
done.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like every chapter is just like one major boss, and then that's it. Like that finishes their
Okay.
chapter.
So
And
did
the
you
other
go
thing-
around to everyone, or?
You can go around to everyone, but you don't have to start their story right away. Like you can pick them
Okay.
up, level them up, and then do their story later on if you want to, just to have them in your party.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is, were because people were saying like if you pick a traveler and you go and you hit a wall and you can't beat the boss, you could go grab another traveler to
Mhm.
level up, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You don't
Okay.
even have to do anyone else's story. If you want to focus on one person's story, go ahead and grab everyone and then just level them up and focus in on that one story if you want. It really
Okay.
just does. You can start the game however you want and continue it that way, and then you
Yeah.
can just completely
I like
change
it.
it up.
Speaking of playing games, Joe wanted to know something about our summer gaming habits. So Joe,
Oh yeah, sure. Oh wait, we're gonna skip over.
we're gonna skip around, man.
All right, cool.
Making it make sense.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, so I want to know what the hell you guys have been playing with this Nintendo drought, some might say, of not enough games, quote unquote, coming out to the Nintendo Switch. I'm kind of curious to know what you guys have been playing to get through summer. Have you been playing Switch games? Have you been playing on other consoles? What's been like the
Ho.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Who is saying there's a drought? Because I turn on my eShop every week and there's like 20 games sitting there.
A Nintendo drought.
A Nintendo drought, plus with all the 20 to 30 indie
Stop.
games that are coming out also, which we had a
Okay.
conversation about that last week, but if you want to
Hold on.
chime in on that too, Bobby, like
Okay, hold on. Let's time out here for a second. Okay. When the Wii U was a thing, right? And we had these droughts where we had no games. It was few and far between. Every single person watching this, listening to this on the internet, if you own an internet device, if you own social media, if you have a handle, every single one of you people sat there and screamed, we need third parties. We need indie developers to carry the droughts. Now it's an issue? Like, come on, man. You can't have it both ways. Either we have no games at all, or we have too many games. Like, it can't be both ways. For me personally, like, it's been straight up Fortnite all summer long. Since E3 got announced, Fortnite every single night, playing with people. Octopath Traveler came out, boom. Like, Captain Toad hit. Like, we don't need, like, I think we got spoiled in year one, is ultimately what happened.
Mhm.
And to me, this is nonsense to even think that people are actually upset about this and there's a drought and stuff. Like, I feel like it's just now we're going to pick on things. We have nothing to talk about. Let's just make an issue that's not there. Again, Wii U, dude, I went months with no games. Months with no games. Road to Tide. And then when the Switch came out, that was what every single person said. They have to have they got to eliminate the lulls. They need third parties. They need indie developers to push through these gaps. They're doing that, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just an idiot, which I am. But like, I just don't see. It makes no sense to me. I'm confused by this.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to step on you like that.
No, I wanted. That was the reaction I was expecting. Honestly, that's exactly
the final
everything you
half
just
of the
said.
year. The final half of the year, I could say that we're getting a lot more exciting games. Like I feel like we're in the second half. Octopath hit.
Yeah.
Pokemon Smash. Like we're getting bigger titles, but
Yeah.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. In the first half of the year, it was boring. There wasn't a whole lot.
Was it?
But that wasn't. No. I'm just saying it was a little
Joe
boring.
is swimming in JRPG land.
Yeah,
he's got
like,
those rose-colored
But
glasses.
no, you got to look at it like you have Xenoblade Chronicles that pushed people from December through a good portion of the first half of this year. And I'm not saying there wasn't. I'm just saying compared. The second half of the year to me feels like it's a stronger than the first half. I get that there's not a lot of Nintendo games coming out, but again, I think people got spoiled because basically what Nintendo did was pump the brakes. Everything that was supposed to hit the Wii U, stop, shift it to the Switch, and that's what they did. I really think, not to be crazy, I think they made a mistake of pumping ARMS out in year one. This would have been the year to put ARMS out because I
like
think
that
it
full game with all the
yeah.
characters, that would have been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have held off on that idea of like, let's treat this like Splatoon. Let's push that into year two. And I think we'd have a different story for ARMS right now.
I'm the weirdo that thinks that this year is going to be better than last year. I got Kirby, which is one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
I got my favorite Mario sports game, Pokemon, Overcooked 2, Mario Party. Like, I'm set, man. I like this year better than last year. I mean, I got Zelda, I got Mario, but like, I mean, ARMS, I wasn't into Xenoblade. I couldn't get into it. That's why Octopath, I'm so happy that I got into it. So I'm liking year two better. There's definitely a drought though. But in terms of games, so Bobby, you've been mostly playing like Fortnite. And
for me, it's been Fortnite most of the time. I did gotta get into Aces. I enjoyed playing Aces for like the minute that I had it, just because I dove into, I dove right into Fortnite at that time. But before that, like I was playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Love that game, dude. Love that game. I've been just taking it as it comes to me and just enjoying my time. It's been, I mean, I've been off for 6 months in terms of like doing the work that we're doing, but like as far as like playing, and I've been enjoying time and life and just like playing what I like, picking and choosing what I want. There's been so much stuff, dude, hitting. It's like I get to pick and choose. Like right now, I haven't even bought Captain Toad. I did want to buy Go Vacation, but now I'm kind of hesitant on that now after listening to Joe speak on it a little bit. That might push me off the idea a little bit. But like I'm looking at games and I'm like, there's stuff coming out that I don't have money for at this moment that I gotta kind of like hold and wait a week or two to buy. So I don't know, man. I get people want Nintendo greatness. You know, they want those Nintendo games, but can we be fair? Like, can we really be fair? Like, year one, year two of PlayStation 4, same thing, dude. There was no PlayStation 4 games. It was all carried by third party. And then they hit a year and it was like, boom. Last year was like a heavy year for PlayStation games, like PlayStation exclusive games. It happens, man. We can't complain. You can't have it. There's no
peaks and valleys.
way. Exactly. There's no way Nintendo can pump out the quality of games. You have your choice. We either get Switch year one quality games or we get Wii U quality games where everything's rushed and they're trying to get stuff. Dude, Star Fox Zero, I know I bag on it all the time. That game should have never came out when it did. They pushed that game so hard to get out to meet deadlines because they had nothing on the console.
Yep.
And so take your pick, people. Pick your poison. For me personally, I'm fine with what's going on. I'm really happy with what's going on. Like, I'm good with playing third party. Like, that's what I want. That's what we've all wanted, man.
Yeah.
We've all wanted this ability to play third party game. Like, dude, Wolfenstein just hit. What are we, nuts? Like, we're like,
dude, that game played good. It was freaking solid on Switch.
Joe, what about you? Summertime, you ramp it up or what?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I ramp it up. I also feel like it kind of maybe stays the same. But man, I looked at my profile of like all the games I've been playing, and dude, I went through 2 JRPGs in like 2 months, in like a 2 month span. Freaking Ys 8, like. Ys 8, Lost Child came out, Fallen Legion came out, oh gosh, and Octopath, and I'm like looking at my playtime, like 85 hours for Ys 8 because I'm doing a new game plus, and I'm 54 hours, or just over 54 hours in on Octopath, and I just beat one of the characters' full stories. Like,
wow.
I'm finishing everybody's chapter 4s this week. Like, I'm getting ready to prep up for the final boss. Like, I'm just going ham on stuff, and I can't recall. And then I'm playing Blade Strangers on top of that. I can say that now. Like, dude, this summer has been nuts for me. Like, and then just going back real quick to like the first half of the month for me, it was like I enjoyed Bayonetta 1 and 2. I hadn't played Bayonetta in freaking forever, and Bayonetta 2 I finally got to like actually beat. You know, that was cool. Hyrule Warriors, Kirby, like you said, Pat. Xenoblade Chronicles for me was just like, that was a mind f.
And then that DLC just hit, right?
The DLC's in September. Like I'm like,
and then what about the whatever, the expansion for
Octo expansion? Yeah.
That thing, like, come on, guy. Like, seriously, people, this is mind numbing, man. Mind numbing.
Yeah, I will say like the sports game stuff, like the Mario Tennis. I picked it up and thought I was gonna play it, and I've yet to touch the thing. Like I haven't played it since the demo, so that was on me. Like I shouldn't have bought that right away.
Mega Man Legacy as well, dude. I bought both. I bought the original and X. Like them both. I can't wait for Mega Man 11 to hit. I just, you know.
I don't mean to go on a tangent with that one though, but you hit a sore spot, Bobby. Can we just acknowledge that Capcom?
They're cheap.
Capcom,
lazy and cheap.
What's going on? I'm not gonna say lazy because I don't know what it's gonna take to, you know, for game developers to put all that on a cart or. Bobby, I heard you briefly touch on this on Nintendo Talk the other day too, but the fact that the PS4 version, and I can only assume the Xbox One version of this game,
2 discs. Yep.
2 discs for the 2 separate collections, and we get one.
Okay, so talking to Chris Johnson yesterday, he did make a valid point that because he does game development,
yes.
On that side of things, and he did say it's more expensive to put the cartridges in. I get that.
I get it.
Because what he was saying was, what his point to me was, in the United States, in North America, games get heavily discounted very quickly. So Capcom obviously just wasn't willing to take that risk. Because I said, then I brought up the point like, well, Japan got both copies. And his thing was, well, in Japan, they don't lower the prices for a very long time. Yeah. So it's a different culture. You know what I mean? Like I said before, everything happens so quickly. Like everything's high sped. And that's kind of our society today. Like everything's got to happen like this. And if we slow down and just gave it time, you know, honestly, I don't know that I would have paid $40 for 1 and 2 hard physical editions. I would have paid $50. I would have paid $25 and $25 if you want to give me 2 physical copies. I would have done that in a minute.
I don't get why they can't put it on 1 cartridge though. Like Legacy Collection 1 is like altogether. What is that? A gig? Like
the first. So, and that was the other thing I got into with Chris, because I think we're assuming that they're putting the original games on and that's it, but they are also doing like the rewind feature. I don't know what that stuff takes. I could be speaking out of turn. I felt like
I'll check for you right now.
There you go. I feel like the original Mega Man Legacy collection could have easily fit on 1 cartridge.
Oh yeah.
X maybe not. I don't know what, because that's 16-bit. I don't know what those games took. And the music was much more in those games than in the original games. But there's no reason why the 8-bit, the regular edition of, because there was only one 16-bit game in that, which is the worst of them all.
I think there's a couple PS2 game PS2
wait, can
games.
what is the worst Mega Man X game that everyone keeps mentioning? Is it X7?
No, I wasn't saying X7. I was talking original Mega Man.
Oh, original Mega Man.
Oh, okay.
It's
X7 is pretty much the quote unquote worst, people are saying.
Yeah. Mega Man 6 or 7. Okay, I forget which one it was. I think it's 6 was on the SNES. And it was bad. It was slow. It's clunky and stuff. So, but go ahead. What do you got there, Joe?
6.6 for X2, and X1's collection 2.9.
So there's no reason why I couldn't have fit.
Yeah.
They could have just put it 1 cartridge on 1 card. I hate, because my thing is this. I bought it. I was going to cancel it. Right? I was going to cancel the X collection, and I totally forgot to cancel my pre-order. And because I was just going to buy them both digitally. Like, what's the point of having the physical copy? There's nothing special with it. They didn't give me anything extra with the thing.
Gamers
so it's
Club
pointless.
The first one came with a cloth. I don't know what the second one came with.
Nothing.
I needed a cloth on the first one. I need to clean up.
It's just annoying because they add in the rewind feature. They add in all these special features. They actually up-resed some of the X games. And then, I don't know. My thing is, like, they have to create a new menu, like, for X1 and X2 if they put it on one card. But I don't know.
Just to load up the game, like, hey, do you want to play X1 collection, or you want to play the second collection? Like, that's all I needed. But
yeah, I think some people probably imported from Japan if they really had to have two. I know my buddy Miguel, he's on this mission to collect. About that. Yeah, my buddy Miguel is on this mission to collect the first 200 Switch games.
Damn.
He's at 152 right now. He's collected 152 physical collections. If a game, like, here's an example, Bayonetta, right, comes out, it's in the United States, it was the same thing. Physical was number 2, number 1 was digital. He actually bought the German version, so he could get both physical versions. For Mega Man X, he's a huge Mega Man fan as it is. He went and bought X1 and 2 from Japan so he could get the physical copies of both of them.
Bayonetta 1 physical is one of the rarest games right now.
Yeah, when you guys come down in August, you'll meet Miguel. Miguel's going to come with me, and Joe, you'll fall in love with this guy because he's like, dude, he's just straight up like, I'm telling you, dude, he's buying. He's also, his other mission is all the like limited run games and super rare games. He's buying the first 10 that they publish of Switch games. Nice. So he's got like 6 already of limited run. Super rare, he's got like a couple already. Yeah, or he's planning, and then like Asia, like Play Asia yeah. started one. There's another one too that just started too, and he's doing. I'm like, dude, you're a madman.
Oh man, he sounds like me right now, getting all.
Dude,
I have all my limited runs except for Pixel Junk Monsters. That's the only one that was like, I'll pass.
He got all the Nicholas games, like but it's crazy to think that you're that would be something.
I got my eye on this baseball game from Play Asia. It's like Pro Yamatsu or something.
I want that so bad,
dude. I want that too. Motion controls. It has all the official teams of the Japanese league, the softball league.
Yeah,
I'm getting that, man. I don't care.
There was another baseball game that came out too, and I meant to buy it and I didn't. I'm gonna buy it. I wish they would bring those games to the United States, dude. I'm so sorely like RBI is good, but it's just not a great game. And
I've been playing the show, and it's no show.
The show is hard, man. That's the problem, dude.
Yeah, it is hard.
Like, you got to know how to play baseball. And like, I haven't played baseball since I was like 18 years old, and I'm like, dude, it's tough, dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. My bad.
We have a little bit of controversy coming from the Pokemon world. So, recent interview from one of the developers of Pokemon Let's Go has admitted that they have wanted to dumb down the new Pokemon games for newer players.
Masuda, how could you?
This includes gym restrictions for Pokemon. This includes the removal of random encounters. And a lot of people are on the fence about this game. Now, there is another game coming out next year, the mainline hardcore game. Now, sales would actually indicate that changing the formula of Pokemon has increased. Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sun and Moon, we've seen kind of an uptick in sales. I'll start with Bobby this time. I know you're not a giant Pokemon fan. You've been playing Pokemon Go a lot.
Yeah.
But what do you think about changing? I mean, this series is 20 plus years old. Changing the structure of this.
I feel like they can do this properly to appease both sides. And when I say that, like when you look at a game like Fire Emblem has achieved its ability to appease the old hardcore players that have come up on it, and to bring in the ability to bring in new players. Like Fire Emblem is a big thing now, and that's because they were inviting to bring in new players. I feel like it's a situation of like, here's people that have been playing Pokemon since they were 6-7 years old, and they wanted to continue to grow and progress and make it harder for them. I think you'll get that next year. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is not a mainline game. Mm-hmm. In terms of like, it's not your traditional hardcore game. It's more for the Pokemon Go people. Like, I will say this: when I played Pokemon Go last year, I didn't enjoy it. I liked it. let me back it up. I felt like it was lacking some stuff, and it caused me to go buy X and Y because I was like, I want story, I want content, I want more to this. But the problem was when I bought it, I was just lost. I had no clue what was going on, how to play. It was just so much to take in. So for me, I feel like they have this huge momentum coming off of Pokemon Go. And I feel like the people that are playing now, for the most part, are the hardcore Pokemon fans.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's who's really playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you got a lot of people come in, and I think that people that are buying a Switch, they look at this and they go like, hey, I remember playing Pokemon Go. I enjoyed it. Let me go play this. If they go buy that game and it's a hardcore RPG game, I think they lose some people. I think if this is the baby step, for lack of a better term, then I think it's a good move. I think it's like you bring people in, you get them in the door, and then when the next one comes out, they all go, "Oh my god, I'm buying it," and they just move over and get it. You know, I'm on board with it. I'm going to buy it. I do like the idea because here's the thing: like, who's played Earthbound?
I've only played a little bit of it.
Yeah, I played a little.
Okay, let's be honest. Earthbound has this huge cult following, right? It's got huge momentum and people love it. The original Earthbound, right? Mother One in Japan, in the United States called Earthbound Beginnings. It's not. It's random encounters, right? People. It's not that good. The second Mother 2 Earthbound, you actually see the enemies and you can go after them or run if you can get away from them. That's a much more enjoyable game to me. And the random encounters can sometimes get to be monotonous, especially when you're trying to get through a dungeon and you're getting hit every 2 seconds and you know you're about to get out and then you die and you lose all your Pokemon and then you have to start over. So knowing that stuff is ahead of you, I mean, it's no different than Xenoblade Chronicles, Joe. Like, see what's ahead of you in Xenoblade Chronicles. It's not random encounters. So you go and you pick and choose what you want to battle, what you're ready to battle. I don't have a problem with that aspect of it. I think what I do have a problem with is them treating it like Pokemon Go, where it's just a matter of throwing the ball. Yeah. And that's a catch or miss. Like, that to me is the dumbing down part. Like, you should have turned that more into a battle to some degree. It doesn't have to be amped up, but make it a little bit more tougher than just throwing the Pokeball and then waiting and then bank, and then jump out, or like, that's stupid. Like, that should be. It's okay for a mobile game, but not for.
Joe, Pokemon Yellow already is a dumbed down game. What do you? You get every single starter in the game. I was playing this game when I was like 6 years old. Joe, dumbed down game. What do you think about this?
I mean, just to add on to what Bobby was just saying before, with that mechanic, I think that was their way of luring in people that are used to Pokemon Go, where it was like, hey, I know that mechanic. I can do that. What's this Switch thing? I need one for this game. I love Pokemon Go. I'm going to go and pick that up. That's in my head how I'm imagining Pokemon companies trying to envision someone playing Pokemon Go and not owning a Switch at the moment, but want to buy this game. The random encounters versus going into battle with other enemies, like being able to select your battle, that personally has never bothered me. There are many games. I get it if Pokemon is like the one game that I've seen weird things with the Pokemon fan base over the years, and I've noticed that they want change sometimes, and then when we get change, it's not the change that they want. It's so they get a little crazy from time to time, and it's like I'm a fan myself, but like I don't know if I'm considered more hardcore of a Pokemon fan over some of the people that I've met. Because I'm like, whoa, you are in this, like, there's levels to this, and I'm clearly not at that level that I thought I was. I'm okay with this being its own series. I've said it before. I said it when it launched. I was like, I'm not crazy about it, but I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm still gonna enjoy it because it still looks and feels like Pokemon. It looks like an up-res 3DS version at this moment, but let's say they freaking go balls to the walls next year with this. If this year is gonna give them more time to develop that game, I'm okay with it. And it doesn't have to look like Breath of the Wild, or, you know, craziness, madness type of game, but
Yeah.
I would expect the new one to have something visually impressive next year, with still that cartoony look.
The one thing that I would say is if they wanted to make this inviting to all sides, they should have said you could play beginner mode, and that's the throwing. And then you could play advanced, and that's the battles that we remember.
Yeah.
And that would have, I think, then you appease both sides.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it would be so much better that way, in my opinion. Because ultimately, like, what I learned from X and Y when I went to go play it was you still battle the old traditional RPG way. And then when you weaken them up enough, that's when you throw the ball to get them.
Yeah.
This is you're just throwing the ball to get them. You eliminate that battle side of it.
Yeah.
And there's also that risk reward of, do I push them too far and kill them, or whatever they do?
Yeah. Is my move gonna like feint them?
Or are you gonna try to throw the ball and catch them in it? And so there's more to the other way. They could have easily, and I think with the new version, that's how they should handle it. Keep it where it's still easy for people to get in there, to get more casual Pokemon Go fans, and that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, and that's just one example of a mechanic that they've changed. Also, if you play the mainline games, there's always this one guy in every gym that says, oh, this trainer has an electric type, you should bring this type. But now you're literally stopped at the gym and said, go get this type, and that's how you go in the gym. That's another one. Also, I guess you send in your Pokemon to Professor to level it up through candies. So I don't know. It's a weird integration of Pokemon Go in the main line. Yeah. Now, Nintendo's going to have a weird predicament on their hands if this becomes the best-selling Pokemon game of all time. What do you do from there?
Well, it's simple. It's simple. Like Joe's saying, you keep two series separate. You have the Go series, and you keep going with that, and then you have your hardcore mainline one. Because the hardcore mainline one still sells like gangbusters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like X and Y sold more than any other game up to that point. Sun and Moon outsold that. They have a juggernaut. It doesn't matter what they do. It's gonna sell.
Yeah. And they're gonna sell two versions of it at $60.
Yeah.
Keep Pokemon exclusive to each version, like they did with this one. I think it's like 3 and 3 right now.
Yeah.
And this was gonna sell like crazy just for the Pokeball controller.
That's true.
People are gonna buy that up, man.
It's a collector's
you
item.
Say what you want though, but this just feels like a new like Switch game, which I think is the biggest thing. So
yeah, man.
I'm all for it. I think we have time for one more topic, and this is the topic of the 3DS successor. So Nintendo said already that they want to make another handheld to coincide with the Switch. I don't think at this point it's going to be the Switch Mini. I'm going to start with Joe this time. Joe, we talked about this a little bit in some past episodes, but at this point, do you think that they keep the two screen, or is this going to be something completely new? He loves that 3DS, man.
This is my baby, man. This is my
well,
baby.
we're talking about it dying, so.
No, we can't kill it off just yet, Pat. Man.
What's the new handheld, man?
What's the new handheld? I think they still do enough to keep it separate from what the Switch is, but I on the fly right now came up with a crazy idea. It might have been stolen from the Vita. Games that you can potentially do crossplay with, or even create this next 3DS successor to be a controller for the Switch in addition to, as it being its own console. I think they do something that's still going to keep this, like, what's the difference if it's going to be a Switch Mini versus a brand new 3DS, right? Keep the dual screens, keep your touchscreen, create games that are still, different for that console. I think the two screen thing works well. Still, I know maybe with, the Wii U passing and, dual screens not being as big of a thing isn't the new fad anymore, but there's just something about having that bottom screen that can be utilized for so many things. With the DS, it was having, you know, the cutscenes being on both screens at times.
It's definitely unique.
You know, and then, you know, eventually, as you know, time went on, people got familiar. People would either add you know, sub screens right there, so you didn't have to pause the game, or even things like Kirby games where you're moving around Kirby with that bottom screen and whatnot. There's a lot of unique things that you can still do there, I feel like, and I don't think all the ideas have been run through with this damn machine, and I feel like if Nintendo keeps something with this to keep it different, like it goes back to what we were saying a couple weeks ago about it. It's like you throw a Switch Mini and it's just gonna be okay, a smaller version of the Switch. You do something different and make something that's a true handheld, because technically this is a hybrid system and they're trying to keep it that way. Then you're gonna want something that's going to be at a lower cost, and that keeps the Switch at the $299 price point. You don't lower that, and you have something that's, you know, if you can't get the Switch, hey, there's this other Nintendo handheld console that's a little bit more powerful than the 3DS that's gonna run all these games even better, you know?
Yeah. So Bobby, I think it's safe to say it has to come in at that $79 to $149 price tag. In your eyes, what would you do if you were at Nintendo? What's the next?
I wouldn't do it. I would not bring a handheld into the market. I think that what you do is, the idea is you make a Switch that doesn't have to be a mini. It could just be a smaller screen. Mini in terms of a smaller screen. I think that they have the best of both worlds. You're basically, at this point, if you have this ability, you have the ability to turn around and take all your development teams and have them working on one console. And this way, these lulls that happen are few and far between, because you have teams working on stuff quicker. I think it's a mistake to go with a handheld. I think that I understand you want the point of entry, so that's why you come in with a smaller version of the Switch. It doesn't be a huge smaller version, just a somewhat smaller version. The Switch Mini that people had discussed in the past and all that, like, I don't have a problem if they did something like that. Make it a little bit more compact, so that way people can play it on the go if that's what they're looking to do. But to me, it's like, you already have a handheld. Why are you? Because here's the thing. In Japan, mobile gaming is huge. It's more, it's bigger than in the United States. United States, we're home console based. Japan, it's handheld. Japan is, you can't put these things out fast enough in Japan. They're eating them up. Why would you mess with that? Makes no sense to me. And I understand that Nintendo does their own thing, and I get it. But I'll be honest with you. When I was playing the N64 and the GameCube, and the Game Boy Advance was out, and then the DS came out, I had no interest in that stuff. I was just like, I want to play on the TV. Then I finally broke down. I bought the DS. I fell in love with it. 3DS, fell in love with it. You guys know I have a bunch of them back there. I collect them like crazy. I don't want a handheld at this point. I feel like my handheld is my Switch. And I feel like it's a mistake on Nintendo's part. And I'm not saying that because I'm just being like a grumpy old person that just doesn't want to change and do all that. I'm saying that because from a business aspect, I feel like you're setting the world on fire, man. You are lighting it up. Don't bastardize what you're building by splitting it. And if you want to have the mobile, like the handheld market, your mobile gaming should be the way you focus and focus there for people. Like, to say that kids are going to just go out, because here's the thing. People are going to use this thing like, oh, well, the 3DS outsells everything. Yes, because idiots like me that buy 15 different versions of it. You don't have, like, look at the sales rates on the 3DS games. That's the proof in the pudding, man.
Yeah,
that's showing, because games don't sell there. And it doesn't matter you have 100 million of them sold. You don't have 100 million. You got probably 50 million, and people have double dipped or triple dipped over time, and that's where it picks up the other 50 million. I really don't believe that that's the move. I think the move is to keep it where it is. My prediction is that they do just hang on a little bit further. They don't push this out. If they push it out in the next 2 years, they are, in my opinion, they're dumb. Like, it's a bigger mistake than anything they've done, because I feel like it becomes quasi like the Virtual Boy, where it just goes out to die very quickly. I think that people, especially in Japan, they're happy with the Switch being their portable console. Why would you mess with that? Like,
Yeah.
in the United States, like, you have people that love. I understand there's a lot of people that don't want to. I'll be honest. Went to 3DS or went to E3, didn't want to carry my Switch out there. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's too big, too clunky. I get that. I get the complaints with it. But how many people actually go and portable console or mobile game as it is for the most part? Like with the 3DS, yeah, you threw it in your back pocket. It was easy. You pop it open here and there. I get the pros. As a business standpoint, I just think it's a mistake. You're running hot right now. Don't taint the waters. That's what I would want. I would want them not to do anything. I know I'm in the majority. I'm in the minority. I get that.
No,
I think you're in the majority,
tough.
dude.
Yeah, it's tough because, like, I kind of agree with both of you. I think that there is a place for another handheld, because you have this platform that still has the top-down Zeldas, the 2D Metroids, like me and Joe were talking about. It could work, but I don't agree with the fact that it should have. I think the 2-screen, the 3D, I think is maybe over with.
Can I just, because I just want to make this point and I want to say, I want the top-down Zeldas on my Switch.
Yeah,
I'm begging for that, dude. I want something that is high def, top down. Like, give that to me so badly, please, man. That's what I want. I'm hoping that Nintendo does that for the next Zelda. Like, I want that so badly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. But also the 2-screen thing, because you have the 3DS, the new 3DS, 2D. Like, from a marketing thing, if you're like trying to find this product as a casual, I don't think that it should have the 2 screens. There's way too many handhelds out now. If you just go to the Nintendo section and you see all the consoles, I don't know. Maybe they have a name in Game Boy, which is well known throughout. Maybe they go back, and I would like a 1-screen experience. We talked about the possibility of digital only, which I think is going to be, you're going to start seeing that with more of the newer consoles coming out. I think there's a space for it, but then again, like Bobby brings up a good point, like, get all of your team in on like making games for one system. But then again, except the Wii, Nintendo has always been handheld first, like success, like in terms of dollar signs. So I don't know. It's confusing. I don't think that they go away from another handheld. Like, they've seen tons of success with it. But it's going to be tough, man.
Let's remember, Nintendo always does this thing where they talk about the 3 pillars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about, like, we're going to have, like, when it was the Game Boy, so that we're going to have the Game Boy, we're going to have the DS, we're going to have the GameCube or the Wii, whatever, at that era as we went. And then eventually one just gets eaten because you can't have 3.
Yeah.
When they talked about mobile, they talked about that 3 pillar again. And they talked about handheld, home console, mobile. They cannot have all 3. It's not going to work. So they have to look at what's making the most money. Maybe mobile's not the answer, but I think when Mario Kart comes out, I think that's going to answer a lot of questions on if mobile is the future or not. I think if Mario Kart comes out and it bombs, but let's be honest, they're making money, dude. Fire Emblem is huge for them right now. Animal Crossing is big for them right now.
Pokemon Go still makes millions, man.
But they don't really make a lot of money off Pokemon Go, so I don't want to put that in that. Like, Pokemon Go is a juggernaut, but that's Pokemon Company. Nintendo makes a small. My understanding is Nintendo makes nothing off of that. The only thing they make it was that stupid bracelet thing.
Yeah,
that's where they make
Go
the money.
Plus, yeah.
They didn't make any money off the game itself. That was all Pokemon Company. So
don't buy it, by the way. It's not that great.
What's that? The bracelet?
Yeah, it's not good.
You would have that.
I'm done. Hey, man.
I'm done.
Oh, man.
I'm done.
Joe, quick take.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo announces a gaming smartphone. How does that go over?
A gaming smartphone? No.
They have some properties now. I mean,
yeah, I guess, but I mean, I can't even envision what that would entail. Like, are they? I mean, they do mimic Apple in a lot of senses with like the the ecosystem, the way they present their products and everything with the digital events and all this stuff. That just that threw me off. Sorry, I don't even have an answer for that, to be honest.
Maybe some physical buttons on there. I don't like screen buttons. That's just me though.
Yeah, so
Bobby,
like,
you buying this?
No. I would, and I love Nintendo, but
yeah,
I'm not giving up my iPhone. I love my iPhone.
that's the other thing too. It's like I got this bad boy right here. Like I'm good.
like I'm not that person that uses my phone for gaming. I mean, I say that and I'm talking about playing Pokemon Go all the time. But like I don't like Pokemon Go is the only game I play on there. I don't play Mario Run. I played Mario Run for a little bit. I get bored with mobile games very quickly. So I just don't see, for me, it's not a thing. I wouldn't buy a phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
If they did it before, like if they had done it before the iPhone, I might be telling a different story.
Yeah.
The problem is the iPhone is so good that I don't, and I'm look at, I'm an iPhone guy. I'm sure there's people that have Samsungs and Androids would say the same exact thing about theirs. I'm not hating on Samsung or whatever. I'm just saying
He's hating
my cell phone. My cell phone is my thing, and I want to use that because here's the thing. Nintendo being Nintendo, they're going to limit the internet. They're going to do all this crazy stuff, and I want to be able to use my cell phone. If they basically did this, if they gave me an iPhone, identical, I can, do the App Store was identical. I had all the same apps. I had all the same. Then yes, I would do it. But if it's basically like a gimp down iPhone, ain't no way. I might buy it to put it on the shelf, and that's it, because it might be worth money one day, but that's it.
Like a partnership.
There's one more thing, like with the whole Switch name, and whenever the idea of a Switch Mini comes up, one of the things is like, what if it didn't dock? Are you guys concerned about the name of it? Like, I would be fine if they came out with one that didn't dock, personally, just as a handheld, smaller, maybe like, I don't know, like Bobby was saying, smaller screen.
Why not the size of the cell phone with controllers on the sides?
Yeah.
Like if you made it with like a little, like that's comfortable right there. The screen's not the best. Oh, that screen is the best. Like that's not bad. I would buy that. You know what I mean? Like that would be ideal for me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for
probably
comparison,
couldn't run like the third-party games, but
why not? Why not?
Maybe it does. I don't know.
Like I would listen. I've been under the assumption and the belief for a very long time that the Switch is not the final version that we get. Like we will get a Switch 2.0 and a Switch 3.0. Like this Switch, and with Nvidia, it's a tablet. It's a gaming tablet. Like, so as we get new chips and new chipsets and stuff, I think it's going to become like an Apple thing where we just start upgrading, and I would be all for it. So if think about it, you have the iPad, which is more powerful, not really, than an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like in theory, it's more powerful, but it's really not. It's just a bigger screen. Why can't they just slim it down a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's definitely, I could see that happening. I would be all for it.
Do we have time for the last one?
It's up to you.
Where we
guys.
at? We're at an hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We can do it quick.
Well, we could bang into it real quick. I don't think it's a long discussion.
Yeah. All right, Bobby.
All right. So basically, my topic was, should Nintendo work with Microsoft and configure a proper online infrastructure for the Switch, a la like a Microsoft Live or something like that, or Xbox Live, how they have that type of thing. Should they work? Because they seem to be working really well together right now. Should they continue that and kind of, work in terms of like, let Microsoft teach Nintendo the back story? I'll go through to you, Pat. I'll throw to you first.
As much as I would like that to happen, I am super curious on what Nintendo's like new thing is going to be, because whenever Nintendo puts something out, everyone is like, why did you do that? And then in hindsight, they're like, wow, that was innovative, or that was like a really good decision. So they have something, or maybe they don't, but it's going to involve virtual console. It's going to involve the online. So far, they've hit it out of the park with the price. So I'm fine with them taking the reins. I mean, maybe they consult some people over there, but I'm really curious on what they put out.
I think more what I'm getting at is them running the infrastructure, meaning the servers and showing that type of stuff. Not and I say live because I just say like that's what Microsoft does. Like when you look at live in a nutshell, like how you play online and you have the servers and you have the store and it all kind of integrates together and stuff. Should they go to Microsoft and say like, hey, run the back end of this? We'll present what we're going to put. We're going to have the virtual console, but should they say like, you handle the servers, we'll give you a fee, you just take care of that side. That's that's more what I'm looking at.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, if it makes a better gaming experience, I think we're all on board.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, no, I mean, going back to 360, that was perfect. I mean, yeah, there was definitely hiccups and whatnot, but that was a solid experience for me, just from, you know, games when I used to play Call of Duty or Borderlands. Like, it was fun times, and that was really solid. I've had games on Switch that have disconnected. I don't know if that's just like Nintendo's end with servers, or if that's the company's end with servers. I'm not too privy with how some of those deals are placed, but like with Doom, for instance, like I was 4 or 5 months out from when that game released when I finally started to play multiplayer, and there were still issues, and then a patch came out and made it even worse to connect with people that I was playing with. I was playing with like Nasty, Rybo, like everyone, and it was just like we couldn't get matches sometimes, or people would get booted, and that was pretty annoying. But like with games like Mario Kart or like the Nintendo licensed stuff, like I've rarely encountered issues, both Wii U and Switch. Like I've had issues on Mario Kart on the Wii U, but few and far between. So I mean, like when it comes to that aspect of their games, I feel kind of confident with what they've produced thus far with online capabilities.
Yeah.
I said this to Mark Caravan last week on the Work Whistle podcast, and I just said, like, I feel like Nintendo does a pretty decent job with online. I think their issue is when they do the special events, like the tennis event that they did, and I don't know about ARMS. I don't think that many people are playing ARMS to really be an issue no matter what they do for that. But Splatoon, when they do a Splatfest, that's when you start having issues. And I think it's when they try to cram all those people in, that's when there's an issue.
You bring a good point. If this partnership, let's say, were to happen, I would love for more global instead of region. Like with Splatoon, for instance, to be able to play with everybody, and, you know, to be able to play everybody in the Splatfests and whatnot, because those are usually region locked, right?
Yeah.
Certain ones.
Well, the last one was opened up to all regions.
Yes.
It seems like when they do the region one, like the open regions, there's more issues than when they do just individual regions. I'd prefer playing against everybody.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do that, like, let's fix it. Let's get it good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They also have a lot more demanding games too. Paladin, Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that it might be wise for them to let someone else handle it, and they could just work on games, work on, you know, the infrastructure of like what this online is going to be, rather than worrying about servers and stuff like that. So I think it's a good idea.
I agree.
All right, y'all. That was episode 45. Bobby, before we go, where can the lovely people find you and all 10,000 of your projects you're working on?
I just go to nintendoguru.com, baby. That's all. That's all. Nice and easy,
fancy guys with your
nice
website.
and easy, man. Nice and easy.
NintenTalk, you next.
Joe, what about you, man?
JoeAfterWork.com, YouTube, Twitch, and all that stuff. You guys know.
And you guys can go to nintentalk.edu and find everything you want there.
One thing. I want to say 2 weeks. This will be on iTunes. This will be on podcast format. The only reason it won't be like right away is for the fact of we need to get all that archive stuff in audio format and get it up. And I'm having an issue right now. Thanks, Dave Moore. With If We Ran Nintendo, so I have to work through that first, and then we can get this one up. But I'm saying in 2 weeks' time we should have our own RSS feed. audio version, Rybo. I know you've been riding me since we've been voice chatting. So there you go. So I just want to let everybody know that. So we're definitely going to have
Sweet. 2 weeks. All right, guys, you're already on NintenTalk. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in episode 46.
Peace out, Preston.
Completely
like
change
it.
it up. I love
This is
it.
definitely an RPG for me because, like, you have like micro stories instead of this giant, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
That's not. That's
hey,
just
hey,
me,
Pat.
right?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Patrick.
At least we know
Patrick.
it's not our internet. See, this makes me feel better
It's
that
not
you're
us, it's
here
it's this guy. It's this
because
guy.
it does happen.
Oh, this guy is horrible. If you don't upgrade that internet, bro, I am going to come to Rhode Island and punch you in the throat.
You want me
He's
to
like,
restart the call? I'll restart the call. Yep.
We don't have to restart the call. He just
He
left.
just left.
He crashed. We don't need him. Listen, I disappeared for 6 months. Let's let him disappear for 6 months.
Let me
And then
take
you
off.
and you and I could just have a good time and hang out, and you know, I'll bring in guests. You know,
There we go. I fixed it.
you fix
That was
what?
just no. I just changed the screen back so that way it's both of us. It was just your
Okay.
forehead.
Oh,
on the
okay,
thing.
okay. So now it's hi, listeners. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
Oh, hi.
I don't know what
Hi.
the fuck happened.
You want to get internet? I know what happened. It's your crap internet over there.
Did we switch blocks, Joe?
No, it's fine on my end, but it might have switched
Oh, yeah,
on
fine on my
yours.
end.
Yeah.
You're in the middle. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know what happened.
I know what happened. I know what happened. It's called that trash DSL you got over there.
So where did I cut out?